All right, welcome to Physical Geography assignment number 10. This assignment's pretty straightforward, I think. You are going to be collecting tidal data for some place in the United States. And it's really up to you where you want to go, what you want to look at. You can actually look up Alaska sites here if you scroll down just a little bit. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to choose something a little bit different. I'm going to Maine instead. Once you go here, you can see that there are a number of different sites that you can choose from. They're all shown with this little yellow and red symbol. And I'm going to click on Bar Harbor, Maine, right here. But before I do anything else and before I look at the tides, what I want you to do is actually take a look at the astronomical data and choose a month that you want to look at. The astronomical data is going to tell you what the phase of the moon is in any given month. And I'm going to choose August of 2021. And then I'm going to hit the submit button here. And it tells me that the new moon takes place on August 8th, first quarter on August 15th, the full moon on August 22nd, and then the third quarter takes place on August 30th. Note those down, make a recording of them for yourself so that when you discuss later on, you'll be able to. Then what you need to do is you need to go and look at the tidal data for that same month for your place. But before you do that, hypothesize based on what you know about tidal patterns, based on what you've learned in the book and in discussion. What is the relationship between the phase of the moon and when the so-called spring tides are and the neap tides are? Remember, the spring tides are the times of the month when the high tides are at their highest and the low tides are at their lowest. And the neap tides take place when the high tides are at their lowest and the low tides are at their highest. So go ahead and do that. Then once you have figured out when you think the tides are going to be high or low, go and click on More Data and go to Water Levels. Once you're at water levels, you're going to get a table show up, but you're going to be able to go down here and change the calendar dates. And I'm going to change the calendar dates here to August, and then I'm going to choose the first day and the last day of the month. And then go ahead and click the plot button. And that plot button is now going to give you an idea of when the high tides are their highest and when the low tides are at their lowest, and the times in between the so-called neap tides. This then you can use to see if your hypotheses were correct. Does the evidence bear out what you thought was going to take place? And you can have some discussion on that. You can save this by going to this hamburger menu up here to download options and choosing download a JPEG image. That's then easy to save and send to me in Blackboard along with your discussion. So that is pretty much all there is. Make sure, as always, that you don't just talk about the tides, but you also talk about the importance of forming hypotheses and then looking at empirical data and seeing how well they match that. If you have any questions whatsoever or need me to make any other videos about this, I am happy to do that. Just let me know.